Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be working on a WJ, which you don't see too much on YouTube. Figured out we'd bring this to you to show you how to fix the window regulators in these doors. Right now I think he's got two windows that are propped up with wood, and both of the window regulator cables assemblies have broken inside those doors, and those, when they do break, the windows just fall straight inside the door, and sometimes break, sometimes I guess they don't. But anyway, his are all intact. He needs window regulators put in, and he bought the kit. I think it was from Amazon. But anyway, let's go open the boxes and change those window regulators for him. Like complete window regulator. Look what it came with. Door panel clips. It always breaks. But he bought an extra box. Awesome. Yep, so it's a complete unit. No motor swap. Motor's in there. It comes with its own bolts. Where you mount the windshield or the window right here. Alright, so let's get to taking the door panel off and see what we got. Alright, so we've already tested the door switches. We have power at the door switch. We can hear the motor working back and forth. So we know the motor has power, good ground. So now what we have to do is go ahead and remove the door panel and get in here and remove the window regulator. Yeah, somebody's been in here before. That's clips. Find that a little bit. We get all these screws out of here. His door panel looks like it's gonna fall right off. A couple of the clips still working. So in here we got the linkage rods for the lock and the door pull mechanism. Let's pull these tabs, rotate them out of the way, pop them right out. Just like so. And then we have a clip right here for the harness for the controls. A little tab right here, you push and then you just pull that out. And then this is actually for the window, or for the door mirror. And you got that all set out. Set this to the side, get this rain cover off, and we can get to the window regulator. So we're gonna take this rain cover off. We have to get the speaker off first, so we can get this rain cover off. This is just a water barrier to keep the moisture out of the inside of the door. So just take the speaker off. Man, it's hot. It's like 95 degrees today. It's like yesterday. Yeah, somebody's definitely been in here. They've tore this up really bad. Got a nice giant hole right here. I don't know. I'll try to do a little bit better quality work. So there's your speaker, just like this harness right here. Just push this tab and unplugs. Set that out of the way. So now we can remove the weather barrier. Somebody's already been there before me, taking most of the glue off. It's just stuck to it. Alright, so now you can see the door shell a little bit better. This right here is the plug for the window motor. This harness just goes right through the door right here. And this is going to be your 3 bolts for the window motor itself. I always try to make sure these window run channels, I try to glue these back in, because you can see this one's already loose. Further inspection, you can see where the previous owner of this Jeep has wedged the glass they've wedged the glass up so it doesn't fall to the bottom because the window regulator cable is broken. So we're going to remedy that today. And then we're going to take and we're going to glue this weather strip back in place because it's really loose. And that'll jam the window up, and that's probably what broke the cable on this. So we'll get some tools. We'll get these bolts out for the motor. And then you have these bolts right here and this bolt right here that holds the window regulator in place. Hopefully when I take this piece of wood out, the window will come down so I could get the bolts that actually bolt the window to the regulator out. Okay. Alright, so we got this block of wood here. They've zip tied it in place. I'm going to go in here with a pair of dikes, cut the zip ties, and try to get the window to come down. It's tight. Oh wow, yeah, the cable is all over the place in here. Not the right way to fix stuff, guys. Hey, look at that. Window came down. Alright, now if you look on these windows, these are just clipped. So there's little clips on the window right here. There it goes. So these little clips. All they do is they go around a protrusion on the window and lock it in place into the regulator. Fairly simple. That way when you put the window in on the regulator, all you do is you press it against it and it pops in place and locks it. Fun trick is trying to get the other one. Just like that. So now I should be able to push the window away from the regulator, and I'll pull it up and I'll just tape it to the top. I don't have my suction cups here to hold the window in place. Alright, so got the block of wood out, got the window all taped up so it won't fall on us. Got the clips removed out of the window regulator. And so now we need to start removing these bolts. These hold the track for the window regulator, and these bolts right here hold the window motor itself. So I'm going to start with the window motor. $8 mil. Hold on to those because you're going to need those. Actually, no, I think the new one came with the bolts themselves. So these are 10 mil. So now the window regulator itself is loose. The motor's loose. Now we need to get the connector for the window motor itself loose. So these have a little red tab. You have to pop that little red tab up. That unlocks it. Now you can push this tab right here and unplug it. Real simple. Push it through. Well, actually, everything's falling out. So we got one more bolt. Missed it. Did you see that?
It's loose now.
It's loose. All right, let me show you what the failure was on this window regulator. Cable totally broke, gone. So that's usually what happens in these, and that's when when you're driving down the road, the cable will break and then just fall to the ground. And sometimes they shatter, sometimes they don't. There it is. Easy peasy. Get that out of the way and I'll go get the new one.
Reassembly.
All right, so here's the window regulator. This is what it's supposed to look like. See the cable? All right, so see how these are notched? Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you can leave the screws in the window motor itself. What you'll do is you'll take it on the backside and just slide it into place. It's backwards. You'll slide it into place because you'll eventually tighten it up when it's down on these witness marks right here. This is the hard part. So you get it slid in, it's laying in the bottom, and what I do is try to take and rotate it up. Get the motor set first. See how it anchors it in place? That way those bolts will actually hold it while you get the regulator guide itself put in. See, now we're coming through these holes right here. Got to get the bottom one in first. Boom. So now your regulator guide slide assembly is hung with these bolts right here. They're not tight yet. Now you can afford the room to get this one in. Take one of your old bolts. Now you got everything hooked up. Make sure you get your harness out through the door. I've done that. Alright, so now we'll start tightening up things. So we're going to go for the window regulator guides assembly first. And it doesn't have to be Superman tight. It's just Guten tight. Alright. Now we'll go for the window motor bolts. And you know they're in place because they're covering the witness marks. 8mm. No particular order. No torque spec. Alright, now comes the hard part. We have to slide the window down and get it into place and then pull the studs through these little clips. The clips are already installed on the window regulator. Alright, so we got the window in place. Everything's hooked up. We'll go ahead and hook up our connections. Lock the little red tab. Alright, so now we're ready to test it. So I'm going to take the door panel, hook up to the controller, see if we can get the window to go up and down. Okay, now we're ready to hook the door panel up to the control switch. We're going to test the window motor, make sure it's working before we put all this back together. Okay, hooked up. Hey! Make sure it goes all the way up. And make sure it goes all the way down before you put everything back together. Here we go. She's in there. Okay, so now we're going to take this back out. We're going to replace all these clips that's in this, and then we're going to try and manipulate the water barrier back onto the door in a nice tight fashion so we don't get any water in it. So let me take this over to the bench. We'll replace all the clips. I'll show you how to do that. Okay, now we're going to replace all the clips in the door panel here. Most of them are fairly aged, and you can see that a lot of them are broken from previous repairs. This one's missing the tab that retains it. This one's broken and just hanging off. You see how brittle they are. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to replace all of them. Okay, so on these, when you want to replace these little guys, you push down on this tab and you slide it out. It's just a little button. See how this retains this in place. Good. And we're going to take all of them out because they're so simple to replace. This one doesn't have that retainer. It just slides and locks into place. We just take these guys, drop them, and they just slide in place. Okay, so see how you got your slide rods. These control the door lock and the door open function. These need to be slid through also. Okay, if you notice they have, or they used to, a locating tab. What I try to do is push my finger through their locating tab, and there's one on both sides. As you can see, I can hold it with both fingers. That's going to locate the vapor barrier in the right spot. So hopefully it's got enough glue on it and it's hot enough out here that the stuff will stay on. You want to make sure all your holes are clear for the new tabs that we just put in, and if you see, we got one that's remaining in the door. So we got to get that out of there. We'll use Rob's fancy tool to get it out instead of a pair of pliers. Alright. Did I mention it's hot? So I think we're lucky with the glue. So now before we put the door panel on, we got to put the speaker in. Remember, it had a connection right here. Right. There we go. And it was just held in place by 4 screws. Those are all taken care of. Right, now we're going to offer the door panel up, hook your main controls up, and then your mirror controls, and then your lock and unlock rod. Down, and then all the way back up. So now we know that's good. I'm going to roll the window all the way down so I can open and close the door, make sure that function works. Okay, and make sure the lock works. Alright, so it looks like we got everything working here. Make sure the outer door handle works. And then on this model, we have power mirrors. Rob, if you want to give that a click or two, let's see if it moves.
Oh, I think that's mine.
Yeah.
I got to select the right one.
No worries. Yep, there we go. We got good function on this. All right, so now we know everything in this door is hunky-dory and it works. So now we need to move on to this other door and see what kind of mess we have in that one. Thanks for watching.